Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be talking about why exactly should you consider the UK for your PhD. As a means of disclaimer, I completed my master's in global health science and epidemiology at the University of Oxford, and presently I'm doing my PhD at the University of Glasgow. That simply means I've been here for most part of my graduate school education. So I'll be sharing from my own personal experience and what I've learned so far, why exactly you should consider the UK for your PhD. If you are just joining for the first time, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for watching. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you why exactly you should consider the UK for your PhD. Let's get right into it. The very first thing is that it is faster. On average, yeah, PhD actually ranges from 3 to 4 years. You are done with your PhD if you are doing it full time. So it's generally faster for you to do your PhD in the UK. And it is because in most cases you move straight into your research within the first year. You've already started your work. There's no time for any other coursework or any other thing. You move straight into your research. So in the UK, it is generally faster to complete your PhD within 3 years. I've seen most people, they completed their PhD within 3 years, and at most 4 years if they are doing it full time. So if you are open or you are looking forward to completing your PhD within short period of time, then you can consider the UK. 3 to 4 years on average, you are done with your PhD. Most people are done with their PhD within 3 to 4 years. Another reason why you might want to consider the UK for your PhD is that generally there's no coursework. But if you want to take any master level courses, you are generally auditing them. You don't have to write an exam. It's just for you to learn and participate in the classes. So in the UK, you move straight into your research, and if you need additional training, there's always an option for you to get them, maybe through master level training or other means, maybe online courses. So generally in the UK, there's no coursework, and I've seen that quite a lot. That PhD students, first year PhD students, are still looking forward to maybe get a particular grade in the US. They are still trying to do some assignment that is counted towards their grade. I'm like, why is that? Another thing is that in the UK, your stipend is not taxed. So that means that you don't have to pay tax on your stipend. So if you're on scholarship, if you are being funded, you don't have to pay tax. And I've seen this in other countries where PhD students actually they also pay tax. So in the UK, generally you don't pay tax on your stipend. So your stipend is tax free. In addition to not paying tax on your stipend, you don't have to pay council tax. And people that live in the UK, they know that that's actually something substantial. As a PhD student and also master student as well, you don't have to pay council tax. You are exempted from paying council tax. Another reason why you should consider the UK for your PhD is that if you are married, your partner can work full time. Just like the citizen, your partner can work full time in the UK. But in the US, your partner cannot work full time if they are your dependent. But in the UK, your partner can work full time if they are a dependent on your visa. Another reason why you should consider the UK for your PhD is that after your PhD, you are entitled to 3-year post-study work visa. For masters, it's just 2 years. For PhD, it is 3 years. You are entitled to 3 years post-study work visa. So I mean, this definitely is going to be useful to some people that are considering of maybe using the 10 years route of becoming a citizen, of becoming a permanent resident. You can consider this. So after your PhD, you are entitled to 3 years post-study work visa, which also counts towards the 10 years route of becoming a permanent resident in the UK. And also, within the first 24 months of you starting your PhD, you are eligible to switch to global talent visa of 3 to 5 years. You are entitled to switch to the global talent visa. And the thing is that your global talent visa actually counts towards permanent residency in the UK. That means indefinitely leave to remain. So you can get, after like 24 months of starting your PhD, you can switch from your student visa to the global talent visa, which is actually a route of getting permanent residency in the UK. So, I mean, that is interesting. Within 24 months, you are already eligible to apply to switch from student visa to the global talent visa. And importantly, and of course, you are joining the 2%, about 2% of the UK population with a PhD. I mean, that's interesting. So if you finish your PhD year, of course, you are joining the 2% of the UK population with a PhD. You might want to consider that. It's also interesting. So you decide why exactly you want to do a PhD, but I think that's also fascinating that you are joining the small proportion of the population with a PhD. So about 2% of the UK population actually have a PhD. So you are joining that small, that tiny number or percentage of the population. Of course, and lastly and importantly, your PhD is definitely going to be internationally recognized because of the high standard of accreditation in the UK. All school, virtually all schools in the UK that awards PhD is standard and they're accredited to do that. So you can be sure that your PhD is going to be internationally recognized. So, I mean, that's interesting. And of course, it's something that you can also think about when you are trying to decide on where you want to do your PhD. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope this is insightful to give you additional context on why you should consider the UK for your PhD. If I miss out anything, you can kindly comment that in the comment section. But generally, this is what I've seen from what I know and from my own personal experience. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube video and kindly subscribe if you have not. Bye.